What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? This is I, James, RedemptionAgency.com. 23 years selling full-time on eBay. And there is baby girl Courtney. And Pee-wee's in the record room, of course. Enjoying the chill floor. And we are Wednesday morning. We're a little after 9 a.m. So we're going to get started. Got some items to ship out on both stores. Then we'll check and see what yesterday did. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a running total in my head of the average of the week, so that I'll see if it motivates me to just go. Because today I think I'm going to focus on the clothing store and just get a lot of clothing, hats, and toys are in there still right now. So concentrate on that store. Because like here lately, when it comes to like offers to watchers and stuff, my clothing store is tied or higher than the offers on my media store, which is unlike anything before. Now, I would go to say that's an issue with the shutdown overnight, etc. But how can I take advantage of that? Let's just concentrate and put a bunch of stuff up into the new store. So for now, let's see where we're at this morning, or let's see what we did yesterday first. So I am the 18th. See if we had any international website orders. Nope. None at all. So in the media store, we almost hit 500. 454. Down 22% from the previous day. 46 items sold, that's up to 28%. And of course, CD's number one yesterday. And then over here, I want to start going in here to get my number just so I can see the other numbers also. Clothing store, not so much, $298. Ooh, here we go again. Good Lord. That's down 8%. 17 items sold over here. That's up 13%. With number one being men's hats. With men's t-shirts close behind yesterday. So for yesterday as a whole, 752. So we're still in that mid 700s there. But with Monday's $900 day, I want to see where my average is and see the number to beat is 787, I believe, per day. So we're going to go 17th. So that's 622.05. Up 58% from the day before. I mean, the week before. Or is it 2 days before? I'm not sure how they did that. And 1034.84 divided by 2. So we're just a little bit over still. 2 days in, 828. So try to keep that going. It's about getting that $1,000 day back. $1,000 day back. And just try to look at it as, what's a good way of putting it? Outworking the what would you call eBay's website? Just outworking the mess, outworking the problems. Yeah. The site's not responding to our advantage, so turn something up, outwork the problems. All right. got something to talk about? Let's see if I can find a topic to be inspired by on YouTube. Oh, look, we've got Bearded Picker live.
Yeah, no. But we're Josh. I'm not saying. I mean, I'm not saying that all trade is bad, because, like, say, plastic bags and stuff, we're not going to make up. There's certain things that you know, but if it's an even playing field,
we're talking trade and tariffs. It looks like. Not going to worry about that. It's all like, it's all strategic. So you can't really say anything positive or negative about all the tariffs and stuff right now, just because it's a game in play. So you just got to kind of wait it out and see what the results are going to be. Game in play. Let's see, what do we got here? What sold? Why is reselling like this now? Scumbags of eBay, episode 1. Ever since I made that parody on Nicole, now her videos are popping up in my thing. She's the devil. I say, the devil, I say. What's preventing you from the profit you want? eBay's website. What was the topic yesterday? I jumped in Cat's live. Nurse Flipper, Nurse Picker, Nurse, I don't know what her name is, on the channel. And what was the topic I liked they were talking about? Guess what you need to do to go from part-time to full-time. Maybe I'll just brainstorm on that while I'm here. Let's start shipping. What do you need to do to go from part-time to full-time? All right, so looks like I got 11 orders on the clothing store to get out. And no international. Boo. All right. And I think I've got one item to add to the 24-hour paper. I think it's on the other store. First up, we got this Travis Matthew hat. This is 2 days old, so I put this up 2 days ago, I think, yeah. So if I was going to go from part-time to full-time, what would be some of the things I would do and or expectations? The first thing I threw in the chat yesterday was prepare to work 80 hours a week. As I said many times before, you're giving up 40 hours to work 80 hours for yourself. You're giving up 40 hours for somebody else to work 80 hours for yourself. It's not going to be a cakewalk. I got this American flag hat, sold for $10.50, headed to Lexington, Michigan. You're going to work harder than you worked for somebody else. Because with somebody else, chances are you had one job. You only had one job. Well, when you're working for yourself, you're working every job. Finding supplier. Picture taking / listing. Customer service by answering emails. Shipping. Kind of an accountant, not really, but knowing your numbers, there's something to that. That's almost a job within itself that a lot of people overlook. Because if you don't know your numbers, you're going to easily put yourself out of business or get stacked up with too much debt that you don't have the ability to wipe out. And by ability, I mean the knowledge to find the right items, the knowledge to, have systems in place to list quicker, have suppliers in place to get the items that you need. Next up, we've got these Lee Straight mid-rise pants, sold for $10, headed to Cohoes, New York. Cohoes. I would say another thing that's really overlooked is a business plan. And that might be the one people struggle with the most. See, with a business plan and knowing your numbers, you can dictate what's going to happen next week. You can dictate what, with eBay, what should happen. It used to always be what will happen. Now it's what should happen because the site's so volatile. Now it's what should happen. But that's why you still hear me say, well, today should be a X amount number day, blah, blah, blah. Because it's about knowing the routine and how things work. Knowing how your items perform. We got these Tom and Jerry women's sweatpants. Sold for $8, headed to Indiana. So what would that include in your business plan? Well, first off, funding. How are you buying all this? How are you going to pay your normal bills until you make some money? Or maybe you're making enough part-time to pay your bills, or at least half your bills. You can include that part in there. Then you're already a head start in the game. So if you're already a part-timer, you already know how things are performing. The way eBay used to be, and one of the main things that I used to my advantage was if I increased my items by X%, then my income would increase by X%. It's a little harder nowadays with whatever the hell's going on with the site. We got this women's Cardinals cap. Sold for $8, staying in the area, St. Louis. But it's still feasible to do it. You just got to put on like a asterisk, if you will, a buffer. Like I used to say when I started the hats, and it was proven month over month, year over year. Okay, I got 1,000 hats, I'm making X amount of money. If I get 1,000 more up, I'm going to make X amount of money. Where now, if I was doing that today, I was doing basically 1 for 1. Where now I would do like 1 for 5, just out of safety precautions because of what's going on. Like if I got 1,000 hats up and I'm making $400, used to it'd be, okay, if I add another 1,000 hats, I'll have $800. Where today I would say, well, if I add another 1,000 hats, I'll have $600. So that little buffer there too. Just so you don't get in over your head with problems. Trying to use the knowledge of the problems to your benefit, so that you don't overshoot a projection or something like that. And that's one thing where I think a lot of people who charge for courses and they don't want to talk about anything negative, that's where I believe they're doing the people that they're supposed to be teaching a disservice, because they're not putting that account buffer in there. So these people might be have higher expectations, and they may be overcompensating on one side, which is going to hurt them in the long run, if you know what I mean. Like, so I think them not talking about it because it's not productive to getting money from you, that it's actually going to hurt you in the long run. Next up, we've got the Chicago Bears. So for $9, headed to Lubbock, Texas. Texas. The thing with most businesses, when you expand, that's the hardest part, is the growth part, because you have to have the money to fund it. While having the time to wait, while still making sure you're not getting distracted by doing the work. Bonnie plants. Do I suggest that people these days just jump straight into full-time? I wouldn't suggest that these days, just because of the insecurity and the oversaturation and any other little factors that may be included in there. Because if you really want something, you're going to put the time in no matter what. If you're working a 40-hour day job, you're going to work 40 hours for yourself just to try to set yourself up to succeed. If you're only saying, getting off your job and only putting in an hour a day, well, but I want to go full-time. No, you don't want to go full-time. If you get off at 5 and you're working at 6 till 10, till 11, till 12, and then on weekends also, then you're setting yourself up to go full-time. Because you're understanding it takes work. But like me, like I say, this ain't work to me. I enjoy the hell out of it. I enjoy every aspect of it. My hobby would be going to thrift stores or playing video games. Well, I still get to go to thrift stores when I want to now. And I look at this as a real life video game. Next up, we got another set of my caster wheels that sold for $6, headed to Vancouver, Washington. Again, I think if you want to go full time, don't underestimate the power of long tail items. Don't underestimate the power of long tail items. Don't underestimate the power of lower dollar items, because not, you know, if you got a lull in one, another one can make up for it. Razorbacks hat sold for $6, headed to Princeton, Louisiana. Like kind of weigh your options type of thing. Like, I wouldn't suggest buying low dollar jeans because it takes more pictures. But if you find a low dollar thing that only takes 1 or 2 pictures, you can list more faster and grow that category a little bit more. That'd be another thing. I would say make sure you break everything down into categories when you're keeping track. Because if something ain't working, you can eliminate it. Instead of just saying, my store's not working, or this ain't working, you can narrow it down to what is working and what's not working. And then eliminate something, add something new, give it a test run. I wouldn't recommend niching down unless you have an endless supply of that product and you can do it either bigger or better than the other people who are doing it. Because it's better to, in my eyes, it's better to kind of compete with a lot of different things than to kind of compete with one. Because if there's a lull, like I said, there's a lull here, something else will pick it up. Next up, we've got this David Craft vintage dowel. Guys took an offer for $10 on it this morning. Headed to Michigan. Or no, it wasn't. It was yesterday morning. Or yesterday. Never forget that when you go from full-time to part-time, everything goes up, including your cost of goods, cost of supplies. Only the OG social media people will know. My only friend is Tom. What that means. Life is Crap hat sold for $10.50. Headed to Bloomville, New York. would say another thing you got to be aware of is things go wrong. Having a buffer in there for when things go wrong, or at least being aware of it. Computer goes down. Printer goes out. Phone stops working. Another thing would be to make sure you talk to an accountant. Get yourself, a business set up. So a lawyer for that, an accountant to get information on what you can pay with business money. I.e. your car, cell phone, internet connection. If you do clothes, laundry detergents, cleaning supplies. Because they're only going to be taken off your bottom line and you'll be paying less taxes. And it's better to break even every year than it is to show a huge profit. Because that means you distributed your money properly. Whether that's giving yourself more money in payroll or buying the things you need, investing back into your business. That's if you're not making tens of thousands over your daily bills, including your payroll. This box is full. Tote, I should say. Everything else is going in here. What are we doing today? I don't even know what. I didn't give our numbers for today yet, did I? So I'm going on 10 a.m. right now. I'm at $103 in the clothing store. And I'm $58. So $160 at 10 a.m. And I got 14 orders going out over here. Again, no international. Let me see what the shutdown was last night. When they're not a shutdown, I usually get some good overnight sales. So between 10:45 and 8:45 this morning, so 9 hours, had 3 sales in 9 hours. So that's the shutdown overnight. And that's why no international. All right. First up, I need to find We got the rug burns, the fairies came. So for $11, headed to Roselle, Illinois. I think one of the biggest things that you have to learn to harness is your time. Because when you work from home, there's a lot of distractions. Extreme 2 cassette sold for $5, headed to Chesterton, Indiana. Like I said, when I started, I was raising both of the boys. So I was getting them to school, getting them home, getting them to extracurricular stuff, whatever the case may be. I slept 4 hours a night. Be prepared to sacrifice for your future. Because if you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not going to be an entrepreneur. You're not going to be a business owner. There's always going to be some level, some kind of sacrifice that you will have to make. Time, sleep, money. But if you have the work ethic, it'll all come back around. Def Leppard Hysteria cassette. This was 24 hour. Sold for $8. So we're at $383.60 on the 24-hour stuff. Headed to Douglas, Massachusetts. I would say other things too. Make sure it makes you happy. Make sure you enjoy it. Because it's going to be more difficult if you don't. I would also say too, figure if you, just in case you're not, you enjoy it, but it's okay, I can do it. Find that something else that you can grab onto that's going to get you through each day when you need it. Like I said, I used to hang pictures of people who were building stuff at the time, who were building businesses at the time, and go and kind of just watching them and not really trying to keep up, but just trying to keep motivated, because in my head they were motivated. Finding that extra those little kicks you need. I would print out a picture of a car I wanted and post it up. You know, before we got the Corvette, I had the picture of the Corvette up. So having things that will help you get through a day when needed is huge. Especially nowadays when there's so many people who use the excuse of anxiety, mental health, attention deficit, whether it's an excuse or not, or whether it's self-inflicted or not because you're on social media too much. You got to find those extra little factors. Next up, are you ready? Hey, for a mixed media lot. Nice. Haven't had one of these in a minute. So we got, don't look like they used the buy two, get two, or does it show that here? Maybe it don't. Okay, so they probably used the buy two, get two, 650, 5, 5, and 5. First up, we've got the Seals and Croft vinyl record. Then we have a Gypsy Kings 45. Then we have Fillmore Last Days 8-track. And then we have Weather Report cassette. Headed to Gulfport, Mississippi. Put a bag around that so it doesn't move too much. I caught that. One, four. Two on it just in case. Claude. Jaws of Life, Drunk with Power CD. I just saw it pop up. Headed to Gonzales, Texas. Texas. Oh, $34 offer. I'll take that. It's sold for $6. What do I got that up for? I'm just declining that. There's no reason to counter a $5 offer on a $20 item. Decline. Move on. At least right now. Next up, Magic of the Merry-Go-Round. Cassette tape. Sold for $16. Head to West Hills, California. I would say too, if you start off, say you have no money, so you got to start off with some high dollar items, quick turnover items. don't shy away from building separately slow moving items, building that up over time, because you see what slow moving items do for me every day, consistent sales every day. Then if I throw up that high dollar item or whatever that might sell quick, then that's just my bonus. So if you're running one way, you can use the slow sell-through rate as your bonus. Robert. But like I said, I would definitely start, if you're going to do stuff that takes less pictures, when it comes to lower dollar item or slower sell-through rate items, think about the details of that. How many pictures is it? How long is it going to take me to list this? How long is it going to take me to ship this? Because that will matter. Spore. PC game sold for $5, headed to Odin, Arkansas. Because if it only takes 2 pictures and slip into a mailer and you're done, it's a lot better than folding a clothing item. I need to get a bigger. Making sure all the hairs are off of it, making sure, if you're unlike me, making sure there's no wrinkles in it. Gotta steam it, that's a lot of time. Shoes, gotta clean them. You don't want to pick that to start off with for slow sell-through rate stuff, because you're going to be putting too much time into it. 10, 12. That's why I don't clean the shoes. I don't care about wrinkles. People know wrinkles come out. That's the way I kind of look at it. People know they can clean it up if they want to when it comes to shoes. Next up, are you ready for a CD lot? I got 2 disc only, Mystical and Scarface. Those need resurfaced. Along with The Whispers and Neil Diamond. $6.50, $8, $5, $5. Buy 2, get 2. Do not seal this, James. Headed to North Carolina. Next up, we've got this very nice condition for its age, the Litterbug Song and I'm No Fool by Jiminy Cricket and Donald Duck. Sold for $12, headed to Columbus, Ohio. But that's one big thing that you need to make sure your business plan understands. What exactly are you going to do? What exactly are you going to sell? Item-wise, price-wise. And then stick to that for the foreseeable future until you learn a lot more. Meaning learn a lot more stuff, learn a lot more managing your time, systems, etc. Next up, another Are You Ready? We've got more of the last summer's yard sale treats. So we got Yin Yang Twins, Yin Yang Twins, Yin Yang Twins. Snoop Dogg. 5665. Headed to Mount Carmel, Pennsylvania. Boom. Lucy. Next up, are you ready for a DVD lot this time? Let's see what we fit in here. Alright. We got Blue Streak. Patton. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The Right Stuff. You got the right stuff, baby. Nitro Circus. Amityville Horror. Private Parts. Boy, this guy changed, didn't he, over the years? Good Lord, he used to be anti-establishment. Now he's part of the establishment. That's crazy, the turnaround, the change that he has made. I haven't listened to him in a long time, though. Thundercats. He lost me a long time ago. Thundercats and Tommy Boy. Great movie. Gotta love Chris Farley. And David Spade. David Spade's good too. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we got $5 a piece. I'm guessing they used the buy two, get two, and threw an extra one in. Headed to Cranberry, New Jersey. Next up, we've got Hollow Man DVD. Had some DVD sales yesterday, finally. John. $5 headed to Philadelphia. The American Gangster DVD. Sold for $5. Headed to Mansfield, Ohio. That's good. And finally, we've got Patchwork. See? Some independent band from Springfield, Illinois, it looks like. Sold for $6. Headed back to Springfield, Illinois. Headed to the Comfort Inn Suites. It looks like they work there. Let me see if that's a member of the band. Doesn't look like it. See if it's anybody else on here. Oh, this is all each song's broken down differently. Okay. Oh, this is a various artist compilation. Okay. So he could be part of one of these bands. I'm not going to look through all of them. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, any day. Spinning Wheel of Death. Well, preferably today. Preferably like right now. Thank you. Much oblige. Print labels. I forgot to print out my scan form, didn't I? Yeah. Where do I go? Nope, that's not it. Damn it. I clicked out of it and I never know where to go back in at. Oh, here we go. That one's open. Refresh that. There we go. Gotta go get my teeth cleaned today at noon. A little bit of time there. Heater. Loose set. Left. Chris. Claude. Keith. James. Leonard. And I am done. All right. Still at 103 there. We're at 78 on the other store now. So 180 bucks by 1020. All right. Thanks everybody for all the love and support on the videos and such. Hit that like button, subscribe if you are not, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.